Hello and welcome to episode 6, I think. I probably should have checked that. If you're new here, my name is Ash and I'm the human behind the accounts Harriet and Wilson. We share our life in outback South Australia on a sheep station. You can find us on all platforms at Harriet and Wilson. If you're not new here, Ham is vomiting. Oh, hello. If you're not new here, you would have seen on our other platforms all of the rain that we've been having and the flooding. So in a week, we had 251 mil. When you take into consideration that our annual rainfall that we haven't had for a few years is 205, it's pretty crazy. 195 mil of what we had fell between 6 o'clock-ish on Saturday night and about 9 o'clock on Sunday night. So 195 mil in just over 24 hours. Things were crazy. Unlike anything I have ever seen before. Just completely crazy. I still can't believe it. In last week's episode, we covered the first part of the rain event, which was, I think, 27 mil. So we had 27 mil on the Saturday, and then we had a follow-up rain on the Tuesday of 14 mil. And then, it just kept raining all weekend. This episode will cover from Saturday to Sunday. I did get some good footage of the rain event, but I kind of forgot to narrate it as we were going. I'll timestamp everything and make sure that you know what's going on. We will do another episode on the recovery and the cleanup and all the fencing we're going to have to do now. And then in a week or two's time, I'll do another episode on how the country has recovered, how green it is, what feed we're seeing, and I guess, what this rainfall means for us now. We had rain forecast, but I think it said about 80 mil from Friday to Monday. There were weather warnings for the area. I mean, our area is so big that you never really know what part of it you fall into. But it said that they were expecting 100 to 200 mil to fall on the weekend. When you see numbers like that, I don't know, I guess you know you're going to get rain, but no one thinks they're going to get 200 mil. I know that us here, our forecast is never right. We rain when it's not supposed to, and we don't get rain when we're supposed to get 30 mil. So we never really look at the radar too closely because it's just not reliable. We were out about an hour and a half from here on Saturday night. We had a family member's 40th. It was raining there, and I think we left at about midnight to come home. And I think about 2 hours to come home. We definitely underestimated what the condition of the road was going to be. There were a few parts of the drive that were a bit hairy. I wasn't really anxious or scared for my safety. I was just worried that we would get stranded and not make it home. And obviously we have so many animals here that need us. We did have Harry with us. As you know, she comes with us everywhere. And I wasn't about to leave her home in the middle of a severe weather warning. It took us about 2 hours to get home. We got home at about 2 o'clock. And I don't think the magnitude of it really, I can't speak for the others, but it didn't really hit me until we hit the dirt road. There was water in the usual spots, but I think what really hit me is we were driving in probably 40 centimetres of water for about 4 or 5 Ks. Like, there was just so much water sitting on the road. Once we hit the dirt, I knew that if need be, I could walk home. So it was still just fun and games at that point. And I think my estimate at that point was that we had 70 mil. And I don't know, I kind of just thought that was it. But I didn't have my video camera on me, so I'll insert some clips that we took on our phones. I went to bed at about 3 o'clock and the boys went out on their bikes. I woke up at like 5 or 5:30 and Sam had come storming in the room and was carrying on and so excited, and I'm pretty sure I told him to piss off, but he made me get up and sit on the back veranda because it sounded like we were at the ocean. Like the amount of water that was running was, yeah, crazy, unlike anything I have ever heard. I think I sat there for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes and then went back to bed. It was still raining at this point. It didn't really stop. And then just around like 6 or 6:30, then the sun started coming out. Sam again came barging in and was beside himself and said that it had stopped raining and I needed to get up and let's put the drone up. Went outside and put the drone up and I flew it from bed. And yeah, what we saw was absolutely nuts. Once the window in the bedroom was open, I could hear how much water was outside. It still sounded like we were living by the ocean. And this is the drone footage that you would have seen all over our socials.
So this is the dam closest to the house. It's called the Horse Paddock Dam. It's not uncommon for water to run around, but it has bust a couple banks there, catchment banks. Where you can see the water running in the middle of the screen now, that's going out to what's called the lagoon. And you can see the lagoon out there where it's nice and flat in that big area, and there's a bit of an embankment there. But even the water's run around this side of the bank and down to the next embankment in which that got totally busted. That's the water course. Usually that's just a couple of creeks or streams that run. So we're right over the lagoon, and that could be a couple 100 acres of water there at the moment, or of actual deep water. Panning over the lagoon at the moment, and there's, you know, those bushes out there aren't small bushes either, and all the water's run around the main rise, what we call gyms, and both of these streams all meet up. This is moving over to Blue Dam, which is the main dam on the place. This does our toilet water amongst other things, which Ash will be thrilled that we've got plenty of that. Actually, we're pretty happy with the lack of damage that's happened here. We've had more damage happen here in the past. In fact, having been there since all this water around the dam's gone, you can actually see debris going over the bank from the first turkey nest into the main dam. So at some stage, the water's actually got so high that it didn't even get to use the pipe or the fluming going into the dam. Before, you might remember me mentioning how the water went past the lagoon embankment and down to the next embankment, which this is called Potts. And this is probably one of the more amazing bits of damage that we've come across. Yeah, in the fact that the previous owner, he said that he's seen water just trickle over this or go around that rise to the right-hand side. But for this to just absolutely bust it like it has, the water there where the bank's been broken could be 10, 12 foot deep. There's actually two beautiful old gum trees there. Luckily, both of them are still there. But yeah, no, Ash will post some videos of just how much damage there is and how big those banks actually are. So the previous owner mentioned water to the right-hand side of that rise that has gone around there, but for it to bust the bank, that's something else. Heading over to the lagoon, you can see where the water is streaming, and that was sort of just going around this side of the embankment, hadn't done too much damage, and there'll be water for months, which is awesome. Might even get the jet ski out on that. Most of this water subsided a week after now.
I can't even believe that we were able to get the drone up because it feels like it didn't rain for 5 minutes. But yeah, we were able to get some drone footage of the actual flooding, which was really cool because there was no way we could get out there and see it. And then it started raining again. We have had like 140 mil or something overnight. It's still raining. It's probably about 11 o'clock. It's 11:30, and things are flooding. I thought that Sam was bogged, so I tried to avoid where he was driving, but turns out he thought that I was bogged, so he stopped, and now we're both bogged. Yeah, not sure, might walk home, probably like 5Ks. We do have a shovel, so we'll see how that goes. The reason we were out here is because we wanted to check out the dam in this paddock and it's overflowing. So we got bogged, we walked down there, and now we're just walking back to the ute. Luckily Sam's friend was still at the house, so yeah, we'll try and get at least one ute out and hopefully we don't have to walk home. I am so glad I found this in the back of the old Land Cruiser. Like a 50-year-old Thomas Cook oilskin jacket, full length. But yeah, I can try and keep my camera a little bit dry in here, which is good. All of the highways are closed and Summer Sam's family are up here, so we're gonna have a full house for at least tonight. It's hard out here catering for everyone on like short notice because usually everything's in the freezer and you're not really heaps prepared. We'll make some bolognese or something and it'll be fine. Ran out of milk already, so I don't know when we'll be able to get into town. Definitely not in the next couple days. Oh, I can hear Sam trying to get the ute out now. Can't even fathom what this is going to look like in 2 weeks, even a week. Good news or bad news?
Bad news. Okay, I have a question for you.
What?
Should we risk the biscuit and bring the good ute, like my ute, all the way down and try and pull this one out?
No.
Or just everyone jump in the back of that?
Everyone jump in the back of that. Tip the Hilux in the dam.
We're gonna have to get it unbogged first.
Hopefully we get another 100 mil and it just like goes down.
Washes its way.
Yeah.
Washes its way.
So I'm just out going for a walk. It's super muddy, but this is our first creek from the house, and as you can see, that's taken that whole fence out. This whole strain has gone. So yeah, we've definitely got some fencing to do here. Here's some of the fence. The house is just over where those trees are. The house and the whole homestead really is on a bit of a hill, which is good. But yeah, most of the flooding was not too far from the house at all. Harry's gonna go crazy. Not near the fence. Harry, that's enough. Oh my God. Harry, I'm gonna have to put you on a lead. Whoa. Oh God. There's more of that fence. Harry's losing his shit again. You can still hear water running somewhere. Oh my God. I mean, I should have known she was going to do this, but yeah, this whole thing was running. That's what you could hear from the house and why it sounded like we lived right by the ocean. The water here is still running a bit, but obviously nowhere near as much as it was. You could see this from the house. It looked like you could go like whitewater rafting in it. It was nuts. Still looks like it's pretty deep up there. But yeah, you can see how much water's come through here. It's crazy. Whoa. And then, yeah, that's part of a floodgate there, I think. It's supposed to be strained up to that strainer post. I don't think I've ever seen water here really at all, let alone how things are now. The whole weekend honestly just doesn't even feel real. As soon as the rain stopped and the water started settling, the sun come out a few hours later, and yeah, because we're kind of on like a little island up on the homestead, you wouldn't have even known that like anything had happened. We still can't get out into the paddocks. We're not fully certain of the extent of the damage. But yeah, from what we can see with the drone and what we've been able to get out and see on foot, there is a lot of fencing that needs to be done. It is a bit of a shame 2 banks near the house have burst, which means we weren't able to catch any water in those spots. Obviously, water is pretty precious out here, so it would have been really good if we could catch water there. The 80-acre lagoon has caught, which we haven't seen in our time here. The ducks have moved in and things are looking completely different to what they were this time last week. I love you. In the coming days, we're hoping that we'll be able to get out and inspect the fences more. Boundary fences will be the priority, and then we will work on the internal fences as well. It is a bit of a shame because the rams up here are supposed to be going out this week. But yeah, with how wet it is and the lack of fencing, I'm not 100% sure how that will go. Yeah, in all, experiencing that, they're saying it's a 1 in 100 year event. We'll take the damage and everything it has caused, because yeah, witnessing that was pretty special and definitely something we'll be talking about in years to come. If anyone's ever wondered what it's like to have a giant dog, make sure you subscribe and you'll get notified for our next videos covering the recovery, the fencing, and how the country bounces back from this. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode.